for you, sing for you, sing for you, Shanti. Oh, I come with Jesus. Sing for you, sing for you, sing for you, Shanti. Oh, I come with Jesus.
Yeah, 28 minutes on to just on 27 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Howdy do, howdy do, howdy do. I want to say a very special good morning to those of you in the diaspora. Good morning, wherever you are. The folks in Austin, Texas, good morning. Mr. Kim Fullerton, what's up, papi? Next time, don't practice that. Don't come to Grenada and you don't say hi, okay? Just to sing for you. Mary Ebang says good morning. Good morning, Mary. Mildred Smith says good morning, Mr. Gordon. My host, you wake up the morning spirit. I come with Jesus. Nice. Lydia Cameron is in the building. Good morning, innocent and the beautiful people of Grenada. Yeah, how do you do? How do you do? All you all right? Grenada is the best place in the world to be. Despite the little things that come our way, I mean, come on, what would life be without a challenge? So we have to be thankful. I do hope that you all had a wonderful morning. Yeah, saying good morning to the folks of Dunfermline. Good morning to Amoy and family. Good morning to Grits. Good morning to everybody in Dunfermline. Yeah, from the housing scheme. Psycho Bob, good morning, bro. How you doing? Arlene, what's up? Everything's good? Nice. Nenny inside of Simon, good morning. How do you do? Roxy and Andre. Yeah. Dexter, good morning to you all. Natasha and Donrick Klein, good morning. Folks on the greens, good morning. What's up? What's up? Good morning to Mr. Pegleg in Ahuma, the Ahuma posse. Good morning, good morning. Tivoli on a whole, good morning. Yeah, Zobi, you good? You're nice, as always. 25 minutes now on to 7 o'clock. Let's get to the word of the day. Today we're looking at an adjective, a describing word. Yeah. It's splenetic. Splenetic. S-P-L-E-N-E-T-I-C. Splenetic. I like that word. It sounds nice. Now, it is a formal word that typically describes expressions of sharp annoyance and anger. Can you identify someone who is splenetic? Someone who is splenetic. Yeah. Sharp expressions of annoyance and anger. Now here's how we can use that word in the sentence. The newspaper publishes splenetic editorials often struck fear into local politicians. Good morning, Mr. George Warm. How you doing, Papi? You good? Yeah, that's a splenetic guy. Yeah, when George writes, politicians shake and shiver. Morning, morning, morning. Hope you're doing good, Papi. Long time no see to sit down and have a chat. You remember that morning we were having breakfast in a hotel in Barbados and we were talking Grenada politics? Folks, this guy knows what he talks about, yeah? Yeah. Went to that conference and, there we were just talking and we called it right that time. It was just around the election season. Yeah. Georgie Porgy, man. Good morning. He is a guy that is laced with humility. Such a humble guy. But don't step on his corns, all right? Good morning, Simon. How you doing, my partner? I want some pan music on a flash drive, okay? Good morning to the folks inside of Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras, good morning. How you doing? Yeah, you all good? Nice. Pastor Ruth Roberts and family, the entire family, your dad, your sisters, everybody, good morning. The Huzzies too. The folks at A&R Eatery and Bar in Pedmota, good morning. Well, the Country Cold Store is back today, right? They're open today. They were closed on Monday and Tuesday for stock taking, the annual stock taking. Good morning, Mr. James Lewis. This guy just has something that's working his way because he's aging, but he's showing younger. He's showing, he's younger, in looks and his agility. Good morning to you and the family and your staff. Nice. Vincent's and Windsor Forest, good morning. Nimi, what's up, guy? You good? How about a little crayfish waters this weekend, boy? Yeah. Something for the back, as the guys say it. Nice. Nadisha, I'm coming to you, baby. This is your turn. It's the thought of the day, and whenever I do that, I remember the folks inside of Cafe in St. Andrew and surrounding areas. Good morning, good morning. I want to say good morning to Dwayne Jones and family. Good morning. Dwayne, we have some unfinished business. Don't worry yourself. Everything will be fine, all right? Nice. Good. McQueen Service Station, good morning. Pomerose, how is Pomerose doing? Doggy, good morning. Kitty Boy and Eggies and Shan and all Sham or Shem Boy. Yeah, the Alfo shop where we usually knock the guys up. Yeah, Mount Agnes, good morning to you. All the wonderful folks. Red Bull and Esther and her sons, good morning, good morning. Yeah. Now the thought of the day is you can choose courage or you can choose comfort, but you cannot choose both. I like this. There's an ultimatum there. Yeah, you cannot be comfortable without being courageous. Nice. You can choose courage or you can choose comfort, but you cannot choose both. Okay. 21 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Good morning to the Faris inside of Aga. Good morning. How do you do? Yeah, all you good? Nice. Long time no see. Monoripo and the guys. Good morning. Long time I ain't get a V8, boy. I know the folks wondering what is a V8. That is a special soup, a special sauce that Monoripo makes with all the things in it, all the seafood and everything. We call it V8, real powerful stuff. Morning to the folks inside of Minoka. Cassia Johnson and family. How are you doing? Okay, let's see what's buzzing this morning. Well, let me tell you off the bat, we've got guests this morning. I've got representatives from the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC. They'll be with us this morning talking, and that's a lovely conversation to have. Next week, I'll be having representatives from GAFIN next Thursday and the following Thursday. So I have 2 sessions with GAFIN this Thursday and the following Thursday. And we, as we get into the season, we try to give you information that are relevant to, the season. During this time, a lot of things could go wrong and so forth. So we want to keep you in the know. But buzzing again, I want to remind folks, and a lot of people are making a lot of, comments on this one, the hunting season being opened, where you can hunt your manikou, tattoo, iguana, rami, and monkey. Yeah, them monkeys and I'm giving a real west up in Mount Agnes, boy. Oh, God, they're breaking down all the bamboos. Yeah. All right, okay, the season is open from the 1st of October to the 31st of December. All right, by now you know that Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell is in Qatar signing this agreement, this air service memorandum of understanding in Qatar. I'm certain by now you saw the video with him, interacting with this disabled guy, he's walking on. I didn't even see what he walking on, man. He had no legs, or if he had legs, they're very, very, very short, but he's just an inspiration. Again, we see that cattle's will be, cattle stock will be, strengthened with the artificial insemination. All right, this is focusing on moves being initiated by the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives to resuscitate the cattle stock, cattle industry. Yeah, nice. Okay. Something that was, I like that to the JUMP program. All right, having recognized the inconvenience faced by some students during the pandemic of not having access to internet service and therefore being deprived of digital learning opportunities. Government has partnered with telecommunications service provider Flow to make lack of access a thing of the past with the introduction of the JUMP program. I like that. Yeah. Okay. Right. This guy Simeon, he pleaded guilty. All right. To manslaughter. Ron Simeon, he pleaded guilty to the indictable offense of manslaughter in connection with the unfortunate death of his brother approximately 3 years ago. All right. The matter was in court for arraignment on Monday. So those are the stories buzzing basically this morning. Let me quickly see what's happening on our Facebook page before we run up for the news. All right. Me too. Jesus is the answer. Nice. Oswin Lewis. Good morning, my friends. Watching from New York. How is New York this morning? Okay, all right. Arthur Langa and my partner. He said, good morning, my brother, from your friend here in Brooklyn, New York. Arthur, bring me in New York with you one of these days. Now, I haven't been in New York in a while, Yeah, good. All right, Catherine Phillip, good morning. Grenada, good morning. Innocent, it's a beautiful day. Good day to enjoy. Good. Good morning, Sister Olive Gilbert. Right, so says Arthur Langa. And Alison Cox Asplund says, good morning to everyone. Innocent, please do not use the word disable. Okay. What word should I use? All right. Alison, tell me what word to use. I like, when you tell me what not to do, I'd like you to tell me what to do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let me see what's happening on our WhatsApp platform. All right, a good friend of mine, I'm saying good friend, I don't even know because there's no names attached, sends this. When I was young, I was scared of the dark. Now, when I see my electric bill, I am scared of the lights. We're going to talk with the people from PURC this morning to see what they could do to, them bills high in short. All right, this other thought says, give me the patience for the small things of life, courage for the great trials of life. Help me to do my day best. Help me to do my best each day and then go to sleep knowing God is maker. I like this one. Courage is not having the strength to go on. It's going on when you don't have the strength. I like this one. That's from Theodore Roosevelt. Okay, all right. So say physically challenged. Good morning, Mr. Joseph and your listeners. I have sent you a quote for parents to take time off for their little ones and trust it in their care to love and cherish. Say hello to the staff and students of the Croshu RC School. All right. Okay, say physically challenged instead of disabled. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, physically challenged. All right. Okay. There are some folks. All right, let me not say that. Okay, don't go there. Folks, we've got to take that break. We've got to do the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather. Those of you on the television platform, we've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. Stick and stay with us. We're with you anywhere and everywhere. Andre Jerome and Tony Julian, good morning. Lou Smith, good morning to you too, bro. Also, Josephine McGuire and my good friend, oh my goodness. All right, Allison says dysfunction. Okay, thank you, Allison. Folks, we do the break. We do the news. We'll be back with the conversation after 7.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. can look to me. Whenever you're in need, just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide, the light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next time, next time, next time, next day,
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Thanks for joining us. Opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell has publicly challenged the validity of the Royal Grenada Police Force's recent arrest in the Josiah John T. Robinson murder case. Beverly Telesford reports.
I will not be satisfied until an regional international organization comes in and do a serious investigation. When that comes out, and if that person that they come and tell me, yes, we believe that, then I'll believe. Right now, I don't believe.
Opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell has expressed doubt and lack of confidence in the Royal Grenada Police Force's handling of the recent arrests in the murder case of Josiah John T. Robinson. The opposition leader aired his skepticism on Tuesday during the New National Party's press conference.
I know the issue of even the question of John T.'s death. I mean, I heard this story about somebody just walk in and say they commit a murder, and somebody saying that they commit a murder. I don't know anybody that just walk in and say, I commit a murder. You know, I mean, who are you fooling with this foolishness?
Citing his lack of confidence in the police force's methodology, the opposition leader raised doubts about the accuracy and reliability of the information used to make the arrest and called for regional and international support.
I have no confidence, absolutely no confidence, and this is why I made a call that the leadership of the country must call for regional or international support. And I can't believe that should be turned down, because confidence is what you want to build. Because what you're doing now on the claim of solving some problems and arresting somebody, it's nonsense. I don't believe that they are credible. So the people wouldn't believe they are credible. So you need to justify what you're doing by setting up a transparent system where people can believe whatever decision comes that is in fact believable.
GBN reached out to Assistant Commissioner of Police Vanny Kerwin for a response to the opposition leader's comments, but was informed that he was engaged in a meeting. 28-year-old Javid Raymond was detained on Friday, September 15th and charged on Saturday, 16 September 2023 with non-capital murder in the death of 24-year-old Robinson, whose lifeless body was found on BBC Beach on June 18th. The Royal Grenada Police Force confirmed that an autopsy done on Robinson's body revealed that he died from manual strangulation. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Well, the decision to launch Grenada's 50th anniversary of independence activities on October 19, the same day former Prime Minister Maurice Bishop and members of his cabinet were killed 39 years ago, has stirred strong opinions, especially from opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell. We hear more in this Nisha Paul report.
I don't think it should be twinned with the independence celebration. I think they should be two separate events. And whatever the views, you can solicit people's views on the possibility of October 19. I do not necessarily think that initiative was necessarily a smart one.
The leader of the main opposition New National Party, Dr. Keith Mitchell, his concerns resonate with those expressed in a recent commentary by Dr. Wendy Grenada, who joined with other commentators in calling for the government to, and I quote, rethink its decision to launch the 50th anniversary of independence on October 19th, 2023, as this is an inappropriate date to do so, end quote. As one of the first activities to kick off the country's Golden Jubilee celebrations, the government plans to declare October 19th a public holiday, commemorating revealing the 1983 killings, which were said to be orchestrated by Bishop's deputy Bernard Cord at Fort George, then called Fort Rupert. However, Dr. Mitchell is of the view that the government is not approaching the situation with due sensitivity. He said such an undertaking should not be done without significant public consultation.
I don't think the government is assessing the situation as well as they should. I would not have taken the initiative to do so at this time without a tremendous level of consultation throughout the length and breadth of the country, because I think might be raising up a lot of eyesores that can be very tough for a lot of people in this country. I see people break down and still crying about the loved ones that have been lost and that fateful day. I'm not sure that some of these people are necessarily would be very happy having to revisit this at this particular time. And that's up in the air, and I don't think it's necessarily the best thing.
Dr. Mitchell fears that the government might exploit the opportunity to score cheap political points.
What I will wait to see what marriage they're coming with independence and October 19th. That would be the most interesting one, because I have my fears that it's intended to make this a political event, to score some cheap political points, which they believe that because of based on their own understanding of where the mood of the country is. But I'm not sure that they're reading this country well. So let's see what happens going forward.
For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
Just weeks after the announcement of $4.9 million in arrears from delinquent low-income housing beneficiaries, officials at the Housing Authority of Grenada say some individuals are coming forward to make arrangements to clear their arrears. More in this report.
Residents at low-income housing units in Soubise, Mount Gay, and Frequenty who have been delinquent in paying for their apartments have started the process of complying with their ownership agreement. This is according to Mrs. Giselle Charles, accountant at the Housing Authority, who explained that after its previous press conference on outstanding payments owed to the Housing Authority of Grenada by residents and some of the steps the authority will be taking to address the issue, they have seen persons coming forward.
Since the last conference, there has been persons coming in to settle up, to refinance and make requests for refinancing. So the impact has been felt from the last news conference, and we do have persons coming in, yes, to service their loan and to make arrangements where the required amount cannot be paid.
Last month, the Housing Authority outlined over $2 million in repair costs for housing units at the 3 sites. Work is expected to start this month. With over $4 million in outstanding payment owed to the authority, persons who already paid for their apartment in full are entitled to a deed of ownership. Chairman of the Housing Authority of Grenada, Hugh Thomas, says so far they have identified over 10 people who are eligible to receive their document.
At the last press conference that was raised, and the board was not aware of it. Since then, we would have had 13. We have pulled out 13 and we are acting on it. We are expediting that. So since the last, 2 weeks ago, we found about that. So I would think by the end of October, sometime in November, they will get that.
The chairman also stated that the Housing Authority is not responsible for providing a deed for ownership to residents in Lakalome who have paid for their homes.
Lakalome was never really under housing. Lakalome was more or less under the government of Grenada. As this administration came in, they asked housing to fix Lakalome's sewer system. But Lakalome was not vested in the Housing Authority of Grenada. Am I correct? Yes. Yeah, right?
For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Mixed reactions from members of the public as they share their opinions on the new procedure outlined by the Housing Authority of Grenada on the purchase of low-income houses in St. David, St. Mark, St. Patrick, Boseju, and Carriacou. Selected candidates are required to obtain a loan or pay cash for the units before the keys can be handed over. One-bedroom apartments are at a cost of $55,000, whereas two-bedroom apartments are at a cost of $73,000. Here's the feedback from individuals interviewed in the heart of St. George today.
No, it's not everybody who could take a loan. It's not everybody based on how they walk in. So what I advise the Prime Minister to do, let them pay what they could pay. Let the pay they could pay, and every month make sure they pay how they could pay, because right now things kind of hard, and you should understand that things kind of hard. I agree with what he's doing, is a good thing, but on the other hand, it's for poor people, it's really rough. So I advise him to let them pay half of the money, and every month let them pay what they could pay, because this morning me and a man was talking, get one, and he was telling me very hard for him. He had to go to get a loan and getting problem to get the loan.
It's a challenge because no lending institution wants to give money and they regret later down the road. You have delinquents, you have deliberate people who become delinquents, and you have unforeseen circumstances that might cause you to become delinquent. But with the government, in every situation, government should find a way to cushion the effects of the poor and what. But sometimes the government wait in another way wrong. They say the same set of people that are crying, you see them going to every Wagiti bingo. You see them going in fast, not fast cash, but in blast. Some of them living inside it. So where the priority lies, that line there, you have to have your priority right.
That's the poor and vulnerable people, you understand? I mean, I find that might be a problem, I don't know.
Why you find it might be a problem for them?
Well, some of them might not have food, eat, or how the case may be, you know?
I do believe once you have been given a gift to the country, it's something that is basically for the people needs in the country. And to offering that at all this money for what? What it makes sense? So that means it makes no sense that the Chinese was giving us as a gift, right? So at the ending of the day, we as poor people are paying for something that we have gotten a gift from, which I believe that the government should have go back to the drawing board or go back to the tables and study about the people needs. There are things that the people is hard right now. People are suffering. You have a lot of stress, frustrating, you know. And if these things and them are for people that you have to, I don't think it should have been in like you said 2-bedroom is such price and 1-bedroom is such price. I don't see the need for that. We have people out here that are homeless. We have people out here that are suffering. They have no place to stay. They have no place to live.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the Housing Authority of Grenada, Hugh Thomas, has confirmed the resignation of Manager of the Housing Authority of Grenada, Ronnie Sylvester. Sylvester, who has been managing the authority for more than 7 years, ended his tenure with the institution in September. The chairman, in a recent press conference, said the resignation took effect on September 18.
No, he said that he sent the board a letter thanking us for his service, and he resigned. He didn't give a reason.
When did that take effect?
The letter was saying September 18th, I think, it's Monday, September 18th or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Sylvester's resignation came days after the Minister for Housing, Philip Telesford, stated in a press conference that those who were charged with the responsibility of managing the Housing Authority of Grenada failed miserably. His comment followed a comprehensive review which revealed arrears totaling $4.9 million were owed to the authority.
The report clearly demonstrated a lack of good governance and a failure in the system. Also a lack of political will. That those who were charged with the responsibility of exercising good governance and stewardship of the Housing Authority failed miserably at the jobs.
The current acting manager of the Housing Authority of Grenada is Mark Paul, the former chief technical officer of the authority. Heartfelt and inspiring interaction between Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell and one of Qatar's youngest entrepreneurs, Ghanem Al-Mustaq. Prime Minister Mitchell met with the prominent Qatari online streamer during his visit to Qatar this week. Ghanem is also a philanthropist. Prime Minister Mitchell commended the entrepreneur on his achievements, saying he is an inspiration to many.
It's an absolute honor to meet you. It's my pleasure. Although I've come from, a long distance away, you're an inspiration to every human being. Thank you so much. Particularly young people. So I'm just honored to meet you. I was listening to back to my country and to the young people, your story, so that they know that despite the challenges they face in their lives, that they can overcome, they can prosper, and they can inspire others to be the best selves. Thank you so much.
Ghanem was born with a rare condition known as caudal regression syndrome, CDS, a disease that affects the development of the lower spine. Despite his disability, he enjoys participating in extreme sports such as scuba diving, skateboarding, and rock climbing. The 21-year-old is pursuing his university degree, majoring in political science, and aspiring to become a diplomat. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell left Grenada for Qatar on Saturday for the official signing of a memorandum of understanding on an air service agreement between Qatar and Grenada. The 2023 agriculture census is slated to begin during the next few days, 11 years after the last data collection exercise in the sector. Farmers are being asked to cooperate with enumerators during the data collection process.
The aim is to collect from farmers accurate data that will help the overall growth of the agricultural industry. The census will be conducted from October to December. Laverne Marp is the coordinator for the agriculture census.
Census is basically a snapshot of the agriculture sector in Grenada for the year 2023, and we expect the enumerators to go out and interview households to find out which households have agricultural activities in it, and once they find out that, then they will do the questionnaire. This census will be doing a complete enumeration. That means the enumerators will be going to each household. The country has been split up into what we call EDs. Okay, so this is an area that has between 100 and 150 households. So each enumerator would have a specific area to go to interview all the households in that area.
Here's what the enumerators will be looking for.
At we're finding out how much land they have, their land tenure, what crops they have, what livestock they have, if they keep records, what production issues they may have, and other things like that. This is important for decision making, first of all, to give us an idea of where agriculture sector is at this point in time. Also to give us information to help us when we're doing programs and projects with international and regional agencies, because a lot of times they ask for information that we don't have. So the census will be a good place for providing that kind of information for them.
Enumerators underwent weeks of extensive training sessions in all districts. MAP highlighted some of the criteria farmers will have to meet and what happens with the data after it is collected.
Yes, we have long questions and short questions. For a farmer, the criteria would be whether that person has 1 cattle or more, whether they have a combination of 5 goats, sheep, or pigs, or just 1, 5 or more, 25 permanent crops, 1/4 acre of temporary land, whether they make 2,500 per year. Those are the criteria. So the data would be collated, aggregated, and we would have a report on the different sectors that was collected, numbers by parishes, by amount of land, etc. And this information will be used to help us answer some of the SDG questions and for other programs and projects.
The coordinator explained the long-term benefits for farmers following this census.
I say that from the census, we'll be able to know which farmers grow what. For example, there may be a training on sweet potato or yams. We can get a list of the farmers who are doing the sweet potato and yams and bring them together. That way, they would be able to know who is doing the same crops as them and share information. That's one way they can benefit. Also, when we have projects or programs, especially international and regional ones, they would also be able to benefit because they are part of the database.
The 2023 agriculture census is funded by the government of Grenada to the tune of approximately $1 million. It is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Agriculture and the Central Statistical Office, which will provide resources to carry out the survey. The last agriculture census was done in 2012. Christina John, GBN News.
Some landowners are expressing uneasiness now that the hunting season is open. We return to Christina John as she explains their concerns in this report.
During the open season, people who hunt as a form of recreation are allowed to hunt animals such as opossum or manikou, armadillo, tattoo, ramier, the scale-napped pigeon, iguana, and monkeys can now do so without any legal implications. But some people are concerned that hunters enter the property without permission, as expressed by this caller on GBN's Good Morning Grenada program.
Just one thing, I noticed information was put out by the Ministry of Agriculture informing the sporting community that hunting season is open, and that's all fine and well. But I have not seen anything from the same ministry informing hunters that it is against the law to go trespassing on people's property, private property. And especially with all the different calls about pre-deal larceny and so forth. So I'm hoping that the Ministry of Agriculture would do the responsible thing, and in addition to informing the sporting community, the hunters, that the season is open, that they will also inform them that, you know, they should seek permission from homeowners and landowners before they go marching into people's property.
We spoke with Chief Acting Forestry Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, Anthony Jeremiah. Our news desk sought an explanation of what the law states as it relates to trespassing. According to ASP Charles, an officer attached to the prosecution department, in the case of trespass, there is a prison term of 3 months. Damage to property carries a fine of $3,000 or 24 months imprisonment or both. Additionally, there are complaints that the Mona monkeys are wreaking havoc on farmers' crops. Jeremiah said they are aware of those complaints.
Sometimes we have complaints from persons where they report that monkeys are there in their residence, causing some level of discomfort, and we sometimes have to attempt to respond to the response in terms of getting rid of it. But it's known to have caused damage to agriculture. They do prey on agriculture crops. Farmers do sometimes they can report damages from monkeys.
Although monkeys are on the list of hunted animals, hunters are not allowed to hunt in the forest reserve areas. Some people, however, are of the opinion that they should not be included on the hunting list. The Mona monkeys is believed to have been brought to the island aboard slave ships headed to the New World during the 18th century. Its origin is said to be in Western Africa, in the regions of Ghana and Cameroon. The hunting season was closed from January 1st to September 30th. Christina John, GBN News.
The never-ending struggle to get people to respect the environment by ending indiscriminate dumping. The Grenada Broadcasting Network lends its support to this cause through our eyesore lens. Stay with us.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Our citizen journalist tonight is hoping to shed some light on some indiscriminate dumping being done near a bridge on Latant Bay Road in St. David. Debris, including bits of concrete, cement blocks, wood, and iron, are seen piled up at the corner of the road. Our ISO reporter is calling for the waste to be removed and for the perpetrators to stop the illegal dumping of refuse in the area. Area concerns through our ISO platform by sending your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Corn! Yes, we're back! It's the 7th annual Corn Festival going down on Sunday, October 29th at the popular Footprint Bar behind Sand. Corn will be in all forms and fashions, from asham to roast corn to boiled corn, pay me to conky to corn soup, and much more. With loads of entertainment and games for everyone. So be there from 2 p.m. because there will be loads of beach games, dominoes, maypole dancing, and string band music. Mark your calendar and make sure you're part of Cornfest 2023 on Sunday, October 29 at Footprint Bar, Lauriston, Carriacou. Our partners for this event are the Grenada Tourism Authority, the Antillean Group, Ministry of Carriacou and Petty Martinique Affairs, National Lotteries Authority, Ariza Credit Union, Massa, Grenadine Airways Limited, and Classic Caribbean Lighted. Cornfest 2023, October 29th. I'll see you there.
Grenada, get ready. A new season of the Grenleg Debates is coming. Informative, impromptu, bright young minds sparking powerful ideas. The Grenleg Debates, September 2023. Tune in.
Welcome, viewers and listeners. It's 14 minutes gone past the hour of 7 o'clock. It's time for the conversation. And as I told you earlier, I like to let you know what's going to happen, what's going to roll with the program. I do have a representative. As a matter of fact, two representatives are in the studio, but one is kind of TV shy. Should we say that? Now, let's be honest, she's not well, okay? She's recovering from the cold, so she's lost her voice, but she's here to lend her moral support to her colleague, all right, in person. So this morning, I'm speaking with the acting CEO of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, Ms. Jennar Jacob.
Yes.
Good morning, Ms. Jennar.
Good morning. How are you? Thanks for having us.
What? Like, she conducted the interview, was she asking the questions and all that times? How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
All right, good. PURC, Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. What is that commission all about?
The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission is a body enacted by the Public Utilities Regulatory Act. It was formed to form a regulatory body for the electricity sector. We basically opened our doors in July 2019, and we have been in operation for about 4 years now.
How busy have you all been with you all opening just in COVID time? And I mean, How busy is that? You all had a lot of work?
We did have a lot of work. We were mainly dealing with regulatory aspects. So we were developing regulations. We were going out, even prior to COVID, we were going out and having consultation on some of these regulatory instruments. We were reviewing the tariffs that were in place because we saw some inaccuracy during that time, and we were looking at ways of improving it. And we also were formulating, as you know, we are the body that pushes renewable energy. We are expected to promote renewable energy and energy efficiency and energy conservation. So we do have some programs that are in line with that as well.
Oh, so you're all young, but you're all doing a lot of things. Yeah?
Yes, we
all have a lot on your plate. I mean, renewable energy is the talk of the day. You look around the world, and that's one of the focal points. As I speak to that, I was looking at a newscast this morning with something that's happening in Sweden, and in the not too distant future, Sweden will be supplying their own electricity, 90% of it through wind. And you think Grenada will reach that? We have enough wind? I mean, we have plenty of wind now, but...
Well, we are promoting renewable energy, so we are hopeful. What we're seeing now is more solar, but we do, if there's room or if there's avenues for wind, we do welcome it.
I mean, something that I always thought about, when I was a teacher, a couple of times I brought my students on field trips. We went to the Concord waterfalls and the Annandale waterfalls, and I was explaining them we can create hydroelectricity.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, well, that's good. At least the thought is in process.
Yes.
So, right, PURC, you regulate utilities. But in a little pre-conversation, I was informed that you basically regulate Grenlec, electricity.
Yes.
I would have thought that, all the utilities, but then again, telecoms is under NTRC, that's with TIMI. Why not water?
Well, it is in conversation. We have been doing some work on what it would be in terms of having a legislation that speaks to it. But in order for us to have it under our purview, it must be an order placed by our line minister, the minister in charge of the sector, and also gazetted for us to have it under our purview.
So the legalities are just in motion at the moment,
yes,
all the legal frameworks.
Yes.
All right, so exactly what, and I know a lot of listeners and viewers might be tempted to call in and ask a lot of questions this morning, so I don't know if you're prepared for questions, right? Yeah, well, of course. Yeah, of course. Exactly what and how do you regulate electricity? What are the regulations that you're regulating that you do?
Okay, so we are mandated to set rates for the electricity sector. So we would set the rates for the bill that consumers have to pay on a regular basis. We haven't started that. The interim tariff is like a stepping stone towards finalizing that process. We set the renewable charges for the renewable programs. And we also would review the utilities cost structure in terms of analyzing what the true cost should be. Yeah.
That is a kind of technical thing, So yes. Some folks always say, so Grenlec can charge us the true cost, they're giving us the false one.
No, I won't say that, because what we need to know is that the mechanism that has been in place for over 26 years. So as it relates to the non-fuel charge has only been adjusted by inflationary rates throughout that period. So what it is that we have already initiated is a cost of service, so that a third party would review the cost that Grenlec is actually putting out in terms of getting the service to consumers, to ensure that it's prudently occurred, because as you know, whatever Grenlec spends, consumers has to pay, right? So you want to ensure that Grenlec is giving you value for your dollar. right? And you want to know that the cost that is put in out is used and useful for the service that they're providing to you. So once this is reviewed and we're able to assess what the true cost is, then we'll be able to form a new non-fuel tariff, because that's a huge component of the non-fuel. And apart from that, they would also be able to earn a reasonable return. So that will be joined with that huge component of cost.
Right, because it's important that people understand that Grenlec, well, now being a state entity once again, is being regulated in such a way that, okay, let's assume it was privately owned as it was not so long ago. WRB can't just come and say, you know what, I find at the end of this fiscal year, I find I want to make a $10 million more in profit, so I just jump the cost. That can't happen at the moment.
No, it cannot.
Okay, so yes. PURC ensures, looks at the different charges on the bill that they put forward. But how do they really, for example, the non-fuel charge, how does that come up?
Okay, so the non-fuel charge is a component of all the costs that are involved for providing the service, right? So let's look at it on a yearly basis. Whatever costs the utility would incur, we expect them to be prudent, we expect them to be used and useful for the service. And then within that, we also have to consider a reasonable return, because we want them to continue to provide the electricity to us, because this is a primary commodity
it's a necessity. It's a necessity.
Right? So when you add all the costs, add a reasonable return for them, and you divide it by the energy that is sold to consumers, you will get a component which would reflect the non-fuel. As it is now, we have a tiered non-fuel, and it's ranging around 40 to 41 cents for the four components. So we have domestic, we have industrial, we have commercial, and then we have street lights.
Okay, so let's look the non-fuel charge. That's one aspect. What are the other components of an electricity bill? So we have non-fuel. What are the other things that they make to charge us?
Okay, so apart from levy and VAT, we'll put that aside. The tariff we're looking at is the fuel charge mechanism. What is being done? Well, what was being done, because effective the 1st of October, we'll be implementing the new mechanism, which was consulted on. It was we had working groups with the utility, and we have now promulgated a regulation, which is a tariff setting methodology regulation, which speaks to the method that will be used once the interim tariff is in effect, right? So the fuel charge is one of the components. Then we are implementing a renewable charge, because we are in the process where we're trying to get more renewable energy on the grid, right? But there's no renewable charge. And as you know, renewable energy, as it is now, is a cheaper form of energy. But consumers have been charged fuel charge, which is a more expensive charge for the renewable that they would be consuming, because once the renewable is in the grid, it has to be proportioned to actually proportion the charge versus fuel charge versus renewable charge. So people would earn a benefit of having a reduced charge.
There were some concerns at some point in time when this whole idea of solar energy and so forth crept up, that even if you invest in your solar panels and so forth, you still might have a charge to pay to Grenlec. Is that true?
Yes, Grenlec had the program before, and their mechanism was a buy all sell all, right? So you would have your system, and whatever you transmit to the grid, you will be paid for it. With the PURC's implementation, we have a net metering mechanism, which in fact would allow persons to use their energy first and sell the excess to the grid. Right? So this has been shown as more beneficial, because if you're generating your clean energy you want to be able to use it first. But when it is that you're selling all to the grid, and then once it gets to the grid, you're not getting the benefit because you're still purchasing renewable at a fuel charge rate, then that doesn't really give you any real benefit. Yes, you will be getting a credit for the energy that you push out, but it would be more beneficial if you're able to pay a renewable charge than that of a fuel charge.
That's kind of comparative to us taking our good, nice, sweet mangoes here and send it down to Trinidad, and they send it back up as red mango for us.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you're making no sense at all.
Exactly.
Okay, so in essence, as it is now, even if, let's say, I invest in a solar system, because quite a number of the financial institutions are promoting that, come and get there. Even if I do that, I cannot say, well, I'm supplying my home with electricity that I don't have to deal with Grand Lake anymore.
You can do that because our program allows for an off-grid system. Right, so you'll be able to generate your energy and bank it. So you will have to invest in batteries, and you will also have connection to the grid, so that in the event that maybe there's a cloudy day, you don't have energy stored up, you can still use energy from the grid and pay them as normal, pay the utility as normal.
So anyhow you look at it, Miss Courtney and them in Grand Lake winning. It's a win-win for them. Good morning, Miss Courtney and the entire team at Grand Lake. All right, now in your role at spearheading PURC, right? I hope that you are in contact and in communication with your compatriots around the region to see how the utilities, regulatories, and so forth. How is Grenada doing in comparison to other regional territories?
Yes, I have to say we have been more involved in terms of connecting with regional bodies like ourselves. We have been informed that we have a lot of groundwork doing. We are slowly behind, but in comparison to the persons who are closely in range with us, we are doing pretty well.
Yeah. Okay. So the main focal point of the conversation this morning is that interim tariff that is about to be rolled out. What is that all about?
Okay, so the interim tariff, as I would have mentioned before, there are some inaccuracy in the fuel charge mechanism, and we're also trying to redefine what the non-fuel would be, right? So the interim tariff will implement a fuel charge mechanism that will be fair to consumers. It would only allow the utility to charge consumers what they would actually put out in terms of the cost that would be put out to generate fuel energy. So whatever cost that is put out on a monthly basis to generate fuel energy would then be divided by the units sold to consumers, and that would be the rate for in terms of an average rate, because we look at a 3-month average, right?
Okay.
What is being done now, it is not as accurate because as we know, fuel is a pass-through charge. Whatever cost that the utility has incurred would be passed through to consumers, but the mechanism that was in place, I should say, it's allows for benefits for reduced costing, and then it also allows for penalties when costs increase. But
penalties to the supplier. Okay, so if Grand Lake all of a sudden increases the non-fuel charge,
no, because we don't. Why we want to remove that aspect is that we don't have any say on how fuel is priced.
Okay,
right?
because it's controlled by the world market.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that element shouldn't be a component of the calculation itself. We should only pay what we should only charge the consumers what the utility would have paid against the consumption or the sales that they would have put out on a monthly basis.
Okay. So that is the main intent of the interim tariff that is forthcoming, and it rolls out when?
Effective October 1st.
Oh, so it started and it runs for what, three months? So 3 months prior?
It's there until the new tariff is implemented. So until the cost of studies are done. Following the cost of studies, the commission would review what was being proposed by the third party who would have done these studies, and the utility would then make a proposal based on the tariff setting methodology. Is all rolled out as to how the process would go on. The utility would present their new tariff to us. We would review it. The commission would make a decision on how it will be rolled out going forward.
Okay. All right. I thought we had a caller. Caller, you can call back. You seem to have had some concerns, so you can do that. In the not too distant future, do you see from where you sit at that institution, do you see that our electricity costs going down? Because it's kind of high, eh? I know a lot of people would be complaining that my electricity bill is too high. My electricity bill is too high, You think it will eventually drop?
Well, we're pushing for more clean energy. So once we have persons who are interested in tapping into renewable energy, then we'll have more cleaner and cheaper energy in the grid, and it will allow us to benefit from that in terms of reducing our electricity bill. But in terms of the cost of fuel, once we continue to have to fall back to fuel, then we have no control on what the cost would be.
Once the ship has to come in every month, then there's a problem. You keep using that word, the grid. Explain that. What's this grid?
Okay, the grid is the transmission line that will be transporting the energy to each consumer, you and myself.
Okay, that's those pole and those wires, and so that's the grid. Also, the network is called the
network. Yes.
Okay, right. Callers, you have any concerns and so forth, you can call 435-2041. There's a very small window of opportunity for conversation. Let's take it. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning to you, sir. Have a great day. Good morning to your guests.
Good morning.
My concern is not because we have to pay more and we are struggling. My concern is that why do we have to pay more and are struggling whilst the wars? Because it seems to me, over the years, it is the wars that is creating the problem, the driving up the cost.
The what?
The wars.
The wars.
The wars. The many wars that we fighting unnecessarily in the world is what responsible for this hike in the prices. Because if you listen to the world news, you discover, look, oil goes up and up and up, and it goes down and up again. And that's where the problem is. So less wars, I believe it will lock us. Are we working in that area where we could try to get these people who are fighting on unnecessary wars to stop the wars, to give us a break down here? Because they are the problem. Are we working in that area to see if we could solve the high cost there?
Okay, thank you, caller. So PURC now has to take up this role of going to the world leaders and say, listen, all you stop fighting these wars because all you're creating the price of the high price.
We would want them to stop, but I don't think this is something that we are capable of doing.
I am of the opinion that the so-called big boys, I like using my local terms, they look at the economic situation, the owners of the oil fields and all this thing, and say, you know what, let's spark a war here, because in the war, the price of our oil can go up and we make some money, I look at it this way. All right, folks, it's 26 minutes on to 8 o'clock. See how the time went? So I told her so. All right, in wrapping up, we have 2 minutes or 3 minutes. All right, if you want to call in, you can call in, but just 3 minutes. Anything you'd want to add?
Well, I do want to encourage persons to come to our office or call us. Our number is 437-1602. I'll just repeat it, 437-1602. If it is that you prefer writing to us, you can email us at office@purc.gd. office@purc.gd. You can also visit our website. You can make suggestions. There is a portal for that on our website. Make comments, because we are here to serve you.
Okay.
And we're hoping that you would communicate with us, so we better be able to serve you.
We have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, Innocent, and good morning to your guests. I just want to ask the young lady. You all have a due date on the bill, right? If you pay your money that due date, you will still see arrears on the bill and a little explanation about concerning when you pay in December, you pay for November. It kind of puzzling a lot of people. So could you give us a little explanation for us, please, how that when you pay January, you pay for December? Thank you.
All right, caller, even before my guest answers, I'd make a distinction. She represents the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, not Grenlec. So the design and so forth of the bill, that's not in their forte.
Mm-hmm. What I can tell you is you can call us and then we will speak to you more on that, try to explain to you. So our number is 437-1602. Once again, 437-1602.
And where is your office located?
Our office is located in Queen's Park. It's between the Grenlec Generation Plant and the Spice Gas.
What a place to locate that office.
I know.
Was it planned?
No.
Okay, that was the space that was available at the time.
Yes,
wow.
it was.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd like to thank you for that information, sharing with us. When you go back, I want you to bring my regards to Alicia and the rest of your team. It's something that we've been talking about a while now, and I would like to see you all more media friendly, come out some more, because I am certain that quite a number of people would want some clarifications on certain things, and I think your presence should be felt. Let the people know that, hey, we have somebody that is, interceding on our behalf as it relates to our bills and so forth. And the sooner we get NAWASA under your purview, the better for us as well.
Most definitely.
All right. So, Miss Jacob,
yes.
By chance, are you related to Miss Jacob, that my good friend that's always on the radio?
Miss Jacob.
She's from Wester Hall area.
Most likely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Jacob. Folks, I've been speaking there with Ms. Jennar Jacob. She is the acting CEO of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, and she was here with Ms. Green.
Yes.
All right, but Mrs. Green. All right, Mrs. Green couldn't be on the set with us this morning for some reasons. She is a regulatory economist, and that's the presentation, that's the conversation from the PURC this morning. Once again, Ms. Jacob, thank you very much for dropping by, and we look forward to continued dialogue.
Yes, thank you very much for having us.
The pleasure is always ours. Folks, we'll take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Introducing the NIS Dream Loan, where possibilities are boundless and your aspirations are our priority. No matter where life takes you, NIS Dream Loans are here to make your dreams a reality. From purchasing your first plot of land or dream property to renovating spaces, building your home, and seamlessly switching mortgages, we cater to every step of your journey. And here's what sets us apart. We offer easy financing options with competitive interest rates, quick approval processes, and flexible repayment terms. So why wait? Apply now and let our dedicated NIS team guide you through this exciting journey. Visit nisgrenada.org/dream loan or call 440-3309 to book an appointment. Terms and conditions apply. Your dream awaits.
And so it begins. A journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Hi, good day. My name is Kyle Sylvester. I am the manager and founder of Case Farming Enterprise. We're an agro-processing business that are involved in the processing of agricultural goods, where we do bottle seasoning packs, lettuce, kale, and broccoli. Sometimes we as human beings get sick or injured on the job. NS provides a safety net for us. I am here to encourage other entrepreneurs and self-employed persons to sign up under the NIS Self-Employment Program.
All right, folks, it's 18 minutes on to 8 o'clock, and let's have a conversation. There's so many things that I know you'd like to talk about. I thought some of you would have called a little more to get some clarifications on certain things as it relates to that conversation we just had with Miss Jacob. But nonetheless, so many things are happening. We had the representative from the New National Party yesterday, former Minister Oliver Joseph, as he looked at the minimum wage issue. We also had the leader of His Majesty's opposition, Dr. Keith Mitchell, with a press conference yesterday, and so forth. Anything that you want to talk about, give me a call, 435-2041. That's where you can find me. And while I await the first caller in this segment, okay, my phone was disengaged. All right, someone says, good morning. My 2 pence is Miss Jacob is in the wrong field. I would suggest that she would be CEO of customer service in Grenada. So intelligent, such a great poise. All right, wow, good, nice. Good morning, Innocent. I heard you mention Miss Jacob this morning. How is she doing? The last thing I heard is that she is at a home for the elderly. I think it's Crowshoe. I don't know. I have to make some inquiries into that and go visit her. Good morning. Very informative on the PURC, its role and purpose. Thanks for the explanations. That's what we do here at the GBN. You know, we keep you informed. Good morning, Innocent. Your viewers and listeners, please send happy birthday wishes to my son Micah Alexis on his 5th birthday. Wishing him the best of health and long life, coming from his dad, mom, and all his brothers and sisters. Happy birthday to you, Micah. Enjoy it, and know daddy and mommy gonna make sure that you enjoy it. Good. I want to take the time now and say good morning to my good buddy, Mr. Cecil Cadet and family. Good morning to Mr. Crawford Best and also the folks at the country kitchen. I feel like having a green pea soup today. Any chance and possibility on that? Mommy Gwen, good morning to you. All right, good morning, listen, my dear friend. Good morning also to your listeners, etc. An appropriate term to replace disabled is physically challenged or differently abled. Notice he's not disabled. He's getting around just fine, but differently from many of us. Good morning again, Innocent. The lady was excellent. Everything well explained. You see, I have, that's the thing. I have the ability to bring that out. I mean, you wouldn't believe how shaky she was when she got in here, you know. But nonetheless, good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Joseph. Greetings.
Greetings to you.
I begin by saying this on the issue related to quote-unquote disabled. The United Nations for years had discussions over this matter. And through the deliberations the last decade of the last century into the new century, they just came up with a word, disabilities, which is in fact used. Disability. People stroke persons, as comes in the law, with disabilities. This is how you refer to people with these fancy terms about differently abled and whatnot. No. There is a convention on the rights of persons stroke people with disabilities. And that is exactly how they should be termed. No one can tell me I'm disabled because I move around. I have lost my sight, but I am not disabled. I have capacity to do many, many things. So we have to be meticulously careful with what we say as not to offend and insult in a technical way the people with disabilities. Finally, Mr. Joseph, I want to comment upon some comments made by the quote-unquote honorable leader of His Majesty's opposition, and even to what Mr. Joseph on a program yesterday morning. These people have a right as citizens stroke subjects of this here country to say what they want. But I want not just being critical of their persons, but of who they were and continue to be in representation of the Grenadian people. For 40 years, this party, through its leadership, have duped and lied and manipulated the population. Some of 20 years plus as Prime Minister of this country, the so-called leader of His Majesty's opposition, have failed. Look at Grenada today. Yes, some money has been spent because that's normal, but how much better off with the people, the human development? In other words, to cut it short, these people are morally bankrupt. They cannot speak on, and they're boasting about things they did. And they're criticizing what we have a year after they left office, as if everything should change. Of course, there are certain things that have to begin to show change because we voted recently for change. But we are enjoying or suffering today in Grenada what they have left for us. And they seem to be so shameless that they don't understand that. So I say to them as they talk and they criticize, bah humbug. Bah humbug. Because you're morally bankrupt. You have no moral authority to criticize anything that is happening in this here country because you left it as it is. Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph. I trust that I'll be back tomorrow.
Thank you. Have a good day, citizen. Have a good day yourself. It's 12 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Love Child Kim. Okay, let's take this call. I'm going to take that comment afterwards. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning again.
Morning.
I want to find out, my boy, what's wrong with the leader of the opposition? This man have the guts and the belly to come and tell us as Grenadians that we have no trust in the police force. I want him to realize in June last year, make 1 year, this year, that the police show they have no confidence in him because he begged the police force to help him to go on a structural adjustment. He gather up how much millions of dollars a day and to pay the people their pension. He refuses. He want to form a committee. Another government come and pay them people their pension. They're so happy today. He forget if he tell us, I think it's only 14 or 16 policemen he had trust in. So the police realized he didn't have no trust in him. That is why election day they go and vote him out. So he must come and tell us, no, he have no confidence because the police show that they had no confidence in him already. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Have a good one. Folks, it's 11 minutes on to 8 o'clock, and Love Child Kim says, Oliver is a mess. They need to stop trying to make NDC look like they're doing everything wrong in Grenada. Instead of being negative, why not come together and build Grenada? Grenada belongs to all of us. Let's work together to make Grenada a Grenada and Grenadians better. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent.
Welcome to the program. How you do?
Well, I'm okay for now. Well, in all what I'm saying with this NDC, NNP, TMP, whatever, is Grenada and all of us is Grenada, and so it don't make sense pulling here and pulling there. But what I'm trying to get at, there's something in circulation that GFA was fined $5,000 US. And then they have a penalty where they were supposed to play a match here in Grenada, and they have to go and play it abroad. And I think they said that all of that come about because one of the matches they play here, the players and whoever complain and the officials. So it seems what happened is after, during the carnival season, they let some activities take place over there, and the field got damaged up. So, but I don't too sure, but this thing is in circulation, so I would like to know, because that is very ridiculous.
What I do know is that FIFA placed a charge of $2,000 US on GFA, that's the Grenada Football Association, for the condition of the football field when one of the teams came sometime in August, somewhere around there. The condition of the field wasn't up to standard, but the game had to be played. So they charged the GFA $2,000 US, not $5,000. Okay.
Okay. Well, I think they should not let carnival activities get on there, because it's ridiculous. This place has cost so much money, and just have a show or some little event there, and then you're providing all this thing, and then they still have to go. The match is supposed to play here. They can't play it here. They have to go in another country to play.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller. Antonio Zikuri says, Innocent, I am not telling you how to run your program, but a suggestion. There's callers who will speak a lengthy time and will call back and still want to be lengthy, while we online trying to make our contributions, and because of time we don't hear our contributions. So please allow one phone call and no coming back. All right, folks, we take a commercial break. We'll be back. Point well taken, Antonio. Point well taken. We'll be back after these messages for the wrap.
Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sun Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Climate change is real, bringing hotter days and less rain. Less rain means less water, so it is crucial for all of us to conserve water at home. When washing my fruits and vegetables, I use a bowl of water, and later I reuse it to water my plants. This is how I save water at home. What are you waiting for?
My name is Alimaka Motley. I've been here doing nails since 2017. Me being self-employed, I have realized that paying the NIS benefits me now and even when I retire. By the time I'm 65, I will be receiving contributions back from NIS. So I benefit because I'm self-employed. Anything can happen. If anything happens to you while you're at work, you've got a bad cold, you have the COVID, you have dengue, we have all these diseases that's plaguing us at the moment. NIS will be giving you back some form of money when you're ill. So I would encourage all small business persons to sign up with NIS now.
Welcome back. It's 5 minutes away from 8 o'clock, and that's the time we've got left on the program. Let's go to the telephone line. Good morning. We lost that caller, 435-2041. One of our WhatsApp contributors said, Innocent, could the leader of the opposition be aggrieved because a photo showed the accused wearing a green wristband, which is allegedly one of the paraphernalia of the NNP, making it appear that he is one of their supporters? Good morning, caller.
Yeah, morning, Innocent.
Welcome.
In fact, I think that probably the authorities should call in the former Prime Minister of Grenada for questioning based on what he's doing or saying. In fact, Also, this man has always behaved like that. If you go back to the Korea issue of the Korea, right, of the ACP, the EU thing, when he was even just as a minority leader, that he was when the first son was the opposition leader, he's quoted as saying that things were so bad, business was failing, people were falling down and sick and them kind of things. He's been saying the same thing for once in opposition. That's the problem. So I think he needs to be put where he's supposed to be, you know. And the government need to act quickly, otherwise he would be in their place, and maybe they would be where he should be right now. That's all I'll say now.
Okay. Thank you, caller. Thank you. Ronnie Andrew says Keith is very disrespectful to the police officers in Grenada, especially for guarding and protecting him for all his years in office, and to turn and have no confidence in them now is horrible. Right. Antonio Zikuri, I think the investigation getting to him. Okay. Good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning, Brian Wilson.
Welcome to the program.
Gentlemen, talking about they having carnival activity in the athletic field. That doesn't take blood to them at all. All activity will take place on the cricket ground.
Okay.
The big stadium. There's no game, no carnival thing activity on the athletic field. Constantly we build the athletic field. Only sports are taking place there.
Okay.
Now, like Mr. Olo, even God could give Mr. Olo excited to come out and see how Grenada is today than the past. And people lifestyle how they live in Grenada today than the past, and they ain't going to know it. Some people don't know when they achieve things in Grenada. How they achieve things is by borrowing money from the bank and come credit union, but they're working with a government policy in place in time for money to spend on government policy around the country. You know? Country make government policies. Government put on millions a month to the nation. And that's circulated on the area. If you want to go and money in the bank to buy a vehicle and and work in the what, the bank will give the money. We have a nice little country inside this KB and this Bacchanal and this thing and that. The Prime Minister be right. Mr. Jody, are you right to come and talk and see what's going on in Grenada? Okay. Blind, they can't see and they can smell and they can hear too bad for the senses. But people are very foolish.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you. 2 minutes away from 8 o'clock. I'll accommodate just one last caller. 435-2041. All right. Yesterday I happened to listen to the fella we have in opposition, and what I got from that fella was envy, jealousy, and greed. And as someone who should know better, uttering words to belittle or RGPF, who he 23 years was national security and disrespecting the members of the present administration, who's showing more maturity than that fella. Okay. Good morning, caller.
Happy Thanksgiving. How are you doing?
Not bad at all. How are you doing?
I would like to say, you hear the ring in my voice. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations.
We win.
To Dr. Julie Dubois of Grand Pova.
Okay.
Who would soon be inducted into the Pierre Foucault Academy. That's a historic achievement. Victoria proud, Victoria proud, Victoria proud. Congratulations, Dr. Julie.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Happy Thanksgiving. And folks, this is where we got to wrap it up this morning. We've got to join the BBC momentarily. Have a great day, Sharon. Did you have your exercise already? Antonio, you've mine it. In any case, let me stay up for this. I just want to say thank you to all those of you who participated. Again, thank you to the folks from the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission for coming by this morning and sharing this information with us. And I want it to be continuous something every now and then. Drop by and let us know what's happening. It's important that we be in the know as it relates to our utilities. All right. So thank you very much for being a part of the program. All those of you contributed one way or the other. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and God bless you all. Love you. I'm gone.